askreddit. What is an adult problem you were not prepared for? The endless teeny tiny implications of adult freedom. You have your own medical insurance plan now. You need to pick a primary care physician. Okay, who should I pick? Up to you, but like, where should I start? How do I know which doctor to choose? Up to you. How do other people find one? They just pick the one they like. I don't know any of these doctors. Not being able to sleep due to stress. Yet here I lay, exhausted but wide awake. When I was younger I could sleep anytime, anywhere. Pro tip: if you don't fall asleep within 30 minutes, get out of bed. Otherwise you'll associate your bed with lying awake. Furthermore, you could actually do something. You're gonna be tired tomorrow anyway, so why not do the dishes, clean the toilet, or organize your living room? Just any small task for 15-30 minutes. You'll feel good because you did it. Your bed cools down, so when you get in you have something to be proud of and your bed is cool. This has helped me many, many times. I've also walked a lot in the middle of the night. Lying awake sucks big time, especially because of stress, but making your home a better place by cleaning and organizing helps a lot. Edit: avoid screens. Dealing with your parents acting like children. My parents have always acted like children, however as a child I was blind to this. Now as an adult I realize how immature and lost my parents actually are. I realized my mum, I am an only child, was just a big kid herself 20 years ago. What shocks me is that almost everyone's parents become younger when they don't have kids to raise. This includes myself. Back hurting just from sleeping wrong. And from sitting wrong, and from doing housework and yard work, and from picking up dogs or kids or whatever life requires. Never reach for anything in the back seat, especially if it is just a little bit further. The constant obsessive feeling that I'm fast running out of time to have an enjoyable life even though I'm only in my 20s. I'm 40, that feeling is real and you should listen to it. Do it now. You might not get the chance later. My great-grandmother said that she and my great-grandfather promised they would always take a cruise around the world after they retired. It never happened because life got in the way. But they could have done it when they were younger. Don't ruin yourself financially, but if you can do that crazy thing you always wanted to do, go do it. Make it happen. Edit: let me be clear. Don't run off and put yourself in a bad situation. But if you can stretch yourself and spend a year overseas or build that car or live in that place, do it. Don't put yourself in $100,000 of debt you can't afford to have a good time. That's the opposite of what everyone else says. So much advice about not making rash decisions in your 20s, focusing on your career and settling down. There's a balance, but life is so long. I want to do that in my 30s. If you're never making rash decisions in your 20s, do it more. If you're always making rash decisions in your 20s, do it less. How expensive lamps are. And floor rugs. And couch pillows. $15, $20 is standard for one pillow. You have to buy insurance but can never use the insurance or else no one will sell you insurance. The increasing speed of passing years. Having nieces only makes the problem worse. Their age and the perceived number of years past doesn't align at all for me. That's actually something your brain does. As you get older your perception of time quickens. In some sense, time literally starts to go faster as you age. Remember how long things took when you were a kid? That's actually something your brain does. As you get older your perception of time quickens. In some sense, time literally starts to go faster as you age. Remember how long things took when you were a kid? Adults never actually growing up. Adults never actually growing up. A lot of the time I feel more useless than at 17. Because at 17, I had ambition and aspirations. Now I feel burnt out at 30, so the aspirations that egged me onwards are gone. The enthusiasm for what's to come is just gone. At 17 I was making new friends, was practicing music to get my punk rock band somewhere, was passionate about science and physics and everything space related, was keen on getting into a theoretical physics degree. Now at 30 I'm totally burned out. I have no friends and neither do I know how to make any friends. I live day to day with no passion or ambition. I'm just slowly waiting for time to tick past and I'm just doing my time here. Every day that I get through without any major incident is a good day for me. How many adults I actually dislike? When I was younger, I thought my parents liked all our neighbors, all my teachers, all my coaches, etc. I've since found out that they thought most people were morons. Kind of like I do. This right here. I am amazed how lonely being an adult actually can be. Realizing some friends are shitty and you shouldn't be friends with them anymore. This right here. Shitty friends don't seem that bad when you're in high school. You see a bit more of toxic behavior in college and then once you're in the real world you realize that type of energy isn't worth having in your life. One of the upsides of getting older is that you a. recognize shitty behavior of friends more easily, quickly. B. realize you don't have to put up with it. C. have no problem cutting toxic friends loose. It's quite liberating. D. realizing you don't have many other friends. E. it's hard to make new friends after 22. F. all the friends you have just made work or are just acquainted. Like what do you do, man? I have all of this going down and I feel lonely as SHT. And I have a girlfriend. How expensive living is. I worked all through high school, but my only bill was the gas I put in my car. 30 hours a week on minimum wage goes a long way on shopping sprees and nail salons when you don't have any other expenses. I developed nasty spending habits, not the value of a hard-earned dollar my parents were hoping for. I'm not in crippling debt or anything, but sometimes having to spend money on groceries or utilities depresses me more than it rationally should. Getting the spending under control has easily been one of the hardest things I've done after buying what I want with no problem for over 4 years. God, it's the worst. How often you have to clean to maintain a clean house? Not only clean. Maintenance in general. I just found spot of mold in my garage and have to pull out what feels like half a wall. Going from having tons of friends to really having no one. Even the few you have, if they get married and start popping out kids before you? It. I was a groomsman at my buddy's wedding and haven't seen him face to face in 2 years. First kid, back to college for his master's degree, house renovations have all kept him on lockdown. And now quarantine right when he finished his degree. Man, you really have to work at friendships in adulthood. I've got 3 proper friends left from school. 2 of them, my girlfriend is really friendly with their wives so we meet up with all of us. The 3rd dude, excluding his stag do and wedding, I've only seen him 3 times in the last 3 years. Thankfully we met up just before lockdown started. The best friends in life you cannot see for ages but when you meet up it's like you only just saw them the week before. I lost my wife of 35 years. There is no way to prepare and really no way to describe that loss. Falling in love at an older age but watching life speed by so fast. Wished I'd met her 30 years ago. My job is destroying my mental health but I need a job so I can pay my bills. If I reduce my hours for better work-life balance, I lose my insurance during a global pandemic. This one right in the feels. My doctor has been telling me for about 1.5 years that I should really be on disability because of my mental health, but I can't afford to wait for 2 years through the inevitable denial/reapply/denial/reapply phase, and I also can't afford my income being cut by 75%. So, I'll just be over here, trying to keep my head above water when I really don't know how to swim. Turns out, you get fat from overeating. Being able to not cook the same meal every day while balancing hundreds of other tasks. I will always admire my mom for how she was able to cook, have a clean house, work 43 hours and help her children do homework, all while taking time to work out at the end of every day. I could mention other common problems like money management and common tasks that I haven't mastered, but what really hit me like a train was the actual transition of adulthood. In talking about having to make my own appointments and having to keep tabs on myself instead of handing every single document to my mum, I realized how unorganized I was when I found my birth certificate in the same drawer where I have junk receipts. In my mind, my mom should be about 40. She has always seemed to be so strong, but sometimes I want to fall apart when I see her take several attempts to stand up or make excuses about driving on the interstate. She will be 70 soon, but to me she is still young. I don't know what I'll ever do without her. I lost my mom 8 weeks ago. It's hard living without a parent. She was only 60, but I always thought of her as 42. She died before I had the chance to talk with her one last time. It was very unexpected. Give your mama a hug and tell her you'll drive her down the interstate to get her where she needs to go. I feel you. I lost my mom 5 years ago when I was 22. She was only 54. The last time I had a good cry about it was only a couple months ago. I'm imagining the pain of losing her will always pop up again here and there, but it happens less and less often and pain is less severe each time. Eventually, you will adjust to the new normal and you'll look back fondly on the memories you had with her. I hate that my children will never get to meet her, but I tell them stories about her and I'm hoping they'll get to know what a fantastic woman she was from that. You're welcome to message me if you ever want to talk about your mum. I'm happy to be a shoulder to cry on. Trying to make friends. Being social as an adult is rough, especially when your friends start moving away or having kids. Yeah, my social circle completely disbanded. We were a tight-knit few, but then one moved overseas to be with the love of his life and the other two moved interstate in opposite directions, and being the introvert that I am, I don't find socializing with strangers an enjoyable experience or an easy way to make new friends. Deciding what to eat for 3 meals a day 7 days a week.